What do you think is the latest state of play in terms of this long-awaited counteroffensive?
Well, first, there are many gears that set in motion here. It's not just about the offensive itself, it's about the logistics. So, when we ask for support from various different national centers, we are asking that to prepare in full to secure victory and peace as soon as possible. So, that's why Mr. Zelensky has been making many interviews with Ukrainian media explaining that as far as it's not finished. The preparation won't be finished yet. We need so much more to get the Russians out of our country and to secure peace with that.
Right, I'm sorry, the line is a little bit crackly, but the problem here is you're waiting for Western weaponry before the counteroffensive can begin. Is that the sort of summary?
Indeed, logistics has to be taken care of first.
And there are concerns, aren't there, within Ukraine that the West has this sort of expectation that the counteroffensive will be decisive. Your thoughts on that? Is there a feeling in Ukraine that this is inevitably going to be a long war, that we need to manage expectations here?
Well, I mean, here it's very easy to be pessimistic because when you think about Russia, the size of it and the scope of its forces on paper, it seems quite impossible, the idea of a complete rout. But in that, I try to remind of the fact that when the Soviet Union is collapsing, plenty of Western leaders were thinking of it as an impossibility and basically finding hard to imagine Soviet Union collapsing in a matter of months. And it did. So as far as Russian capability, regimes like what Mr. Putin has constructed in Russia is certainly a giant, but it's a giant on clay legs. And when those clay legs are breaking, who knows what's going to happen, how fast it's going to happen.
Right.
But
So
also a point to be made about being when you think about optimism, also when you think of a clear sweep, it's also very hard to do that. Because obviously, when you think about the Russian defenses, what they've built up, what I have seen, what I have fought against in around Bakhmut, Russians are definitely digging in and trying to prepare for a counteroffensive, one kind or another. And basically, it's not been an easy fight.
right, and impossible things can happen would be your general message.
Yes, any number of things are possible. Warfare is sadly the area where any number of things can always happen, and any number of good things or bad things, but all of them is structured.
Well, we've been talking a lot in the programme this evening about the Eurovision contest, which of course should have been hosted by Ukraine, but is now being hosted by the UK, who came second last time. The British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has said he's disappointed that Volodymyr Zelensky has not been given the chance to address the contest. Would you like Rishi Sunak to intervene with the organisers to try and make that happen?
I think first it's very important to comment about the organisers themselves. I mean, there's a saying of Dante's, the hottest place in hell is reserved for those who, moments of peril, were choosing neutrality. It's certainly a situation like that that's occurring right now, and not allowing our president to at least tell the world through Eurovision about the reality of what's happening on the ground and the plight that the nation faces is as sad as can be. Because when you think about decisions of that sort that Eurovision has made, it will certainly go down in history with the greatest deal of disgrace, disappointment. And those who made it will be looked upon in the generations as those who have not done the smallest thing possible, that is allowing to speak for somebody who definitely has something to say.
Well, I loved your Dante quote there, but do you understand the organisers' concerns about allowing politics to intrude on an event that is supposed to be apolitical?
Sadly, it's not just about politics. It's about human lives that are being destroyed every single day in Ukraine by Russia. And when you think of those scales, when you think of that reality, it changed conversation. It's not just territorial negotiations that got stuck, sadly. This is the reality of the fact that Russia has launched an invasion unlike this, not seen since the Second World War, with the goal of destroying the Ukrainian state, and has been defeated while the whole world was trying to understand that the impossible things are possible in this century. So the point here, that changed the conversation utterly with Eurovision, especially.